Let's talk about Avowed. Firstly, I played about 10 hours of the game so far, and I haven't made it out of the starting area yet. There's so many side quests, things to explore, that I'm finding it difficult to move on.
Wish I hadn't heard that before.
Then take my house key. It's northwest of here. That cabin on the cliff all by
Hangin'.
itself. Gods know I can't go back.
If I were to rate the game on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 6.5. And I'm going to break it down into a few categories on why. Combat, story, and originality. Our first category is combat. The combat feels fun and exciting. The ranged combat feels extremely satisfying when you hit a critical hit, and the melee combat feels so Elder Scrolls-esque that it's been able to really scratch that fantasy first-person sword fighting itch in my brain. The only things I'm really unimpressed by are the enemy variants, and the magic. Overall, it gets an 8 out of 10 from me. The magic is so uninteresting to me that I've almost completely avoided leveling it. The singular spell I have is mediocre and simply floats purple balls of light that do minimal damage to the enemy in front of me. It feels clunky, doesn't really track the enemy despite that being its whole point, and doesn't have the same oomph that the musket, pistol, or bow have. I'm sure as I gain more experience in the game, I'll slowly recognize its value and it'll begin to seem more interesting, but the time I've put in so far has left me thoroughly unimpressed. The enemy diversity is also lacking. So far, I've mostly fought 4 enemy groups: people, bears, giant insects, and humanoid lizards. That's it. For having 10 hours in the game, I thought I would at least encounter a monster that made me feel a little more threatened than a giant spider. In similar fantasy games, I've immediately felt like I was going to die to something well beyond my experience and scope in the game. In Skyrim, you open by being attacked by Alduin, and that's what made me want to keep playing. The drive to kill that stupid rat, even though he technically saved my life. And as the game progressed, I discovered the joy of simply running in a direction and getting ass blasted to the moon by a giant that I thought I could take. The sheer number of enemy groups in Avowed doesn't make up for their lack of diversity. It makes it clear that the game is a fighting game, not an exploration game, and that made me more disappointed than it should have. That leads me into the story. Man, I am so bored about this plague story. Please guys, we need to find a new trope. Oh, are the gods mad at us? Oh yay, another angry god! Just like the ones we've been writing about for the past 7,000 years. Literally since written language is invented. Now, to Obsidian's credit, they're really good at pulling plot twists, so I'm almost 100% sure that I'm going to keep playing the game and suddenly I'm going to go, wait a second, God was that one bitch? And then I'm going to rethink ever making this video, and I'm going to have to make a new one just to address the fact that I was wrong and I'm an idiot, but for right now, the story is pretty mediocre. Now I'm going to follow it up with, it could have had a 7 because the side quests have been super fun and interesting, and the characters' backstories are also interesting. The main questline has been pretty mediocre, but the thing bringing it down to a 5 from a 7 for me is the dialogue. Like, holy shit, I swear 6 of the 10 hours I've played this game have been talking to random NPCs, telling me about their entire life, and I actually just don't care. Like, please leave me alone, I'm tired of hearing about your dead friends. Then we have the originality. I'm not gonna lie, this game isn't the most unique or original game I've ever played. Not even in the past 3 years. Helldivers, Manor Lords, even Civilization 7 has more unique and new mechanics than this game does. Civilization 7, the 7th game in the series, has more unique mechanics than this game does. It's not original at all in the slightest, but that doesn't mean it isn't fun. The main enemy you fight is quite literally a fungus. Am I just playing the fantasy version of The Last of Us? That's really what this game feels like, except that The Last of Us came out 12 years ago and still holds up better than this game. In all seriousness, I'm being super harsh to the game, but I am having fun playing it. It might not be original or have the fanciest new game mechanics, but it does still scratch that first-person fantasy itch in my brain. If you want to play a game when you get home from work to just turn your brain off, slice up some monsters, talk to some NPCs, this is probably a good game to buy. With the Game Pass discount and it only being around $20, I think it's worth having. Even if you only put some time into it every once in a while, it's all in all a fun game. And I'm going to keep playing it until I'm tired of killing little lizards. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe as it really helps me out. And I'm a new YouTuber. If you go to my channel, you'll see the last video I posted was over 2 years ago, but I've decided to resume my content creation journey. Thank you to all the people that have stuck by me. You're so wonderful. And welcome back to Basso's Boys.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker!
You're always late.